not right to fake your service dog, first of all, but it's not right to discriminate against a real service dog either.
This mom was barred from seeing her daughter in her hospital room. You know, there's so much confusion about where service dogs are allowed and what qualifies as a service animal. So we're getting answers after the mom was caught in that confusion when her real service dog was denied at a local hospital.
The mom in me is really mad.
Several weeks ago, Justina Higgins went to Legacy's Randall Children's Hospital to be with her 15-year-old daughter.
The security guard looks at me and she looks at the dog and she goes, you can't have your pet in here. And I said, she's not a pet, she's a service dog.
Government documents show Justina is critically allergic to latex, and she's considered disabled by the Social Security Administration.
In 2004, I had an anaphylactic reaction at work to balloons. I was a nurse on the OB floor at St. Vincent's, and I ended up in the ICU for 4 days. And then it's just gotten worse.
The allergy ended her nursing career. Now she takes her service dog everywhere to alert her to latex. At the Children's Hospital, she explained her way past the security guard, but ran into more resistance on her daughter's floor.
And he said, we can't have the dog on the unit. So if you want to see your child, you'll comply with our rules. And I'm like, well, what are your rules? Because the policy that you're telling me doesn't agree with the American with Disabilities Act.
Over 10 days and 2 Legacy hospitals, Justina says she was allowed to see her daughter in a conference room for a limited amount of time, which seems to violate the hospital's own policies and federal law. The hospital's policy says service dogs are never permitted in operating rooms, recovery rooms, and procedure rooms. But the policy doesn't say service dogs are forbidden from patient rooms. The government's website says it would be inappropriate to exclude a service animal from patient rooms. So we went to Legacy to ask why Justina was treated the way she was. And an unexpected thing happened.
This was a case of an individual coming to one of our facilities with a service animal and ran into a number of our employees who weren't aware of the specifics of our policy and didn't follow our policy.
So you're admitting you folks didn't handle this right?
Essentially, our policy is very clear about service animals.
Legacy is retraining its staff. But the service dog issue is one causing confusion in so many places.
There's a lot of misunderstanding and feeling among some that the law is exploited or there's cheaters out there.
Bob June-Depth with Disability Rights Oregon says it would likely be too expensive to create an official licensing agency for service dogs and wonders who would enforce the rules. So currently, if someone lies that their comfort or therapy dog or family pet is a specially trained service dog, there's not much a store or hospital can do.
A service animal isn't allowed to do anything you can't do. So if you're not allowed to pee on the floor, a service animal isn't allowed to pee on the floor. If you're not allowed to lick the fruit, a service animal isn't allowed to lick the fruit. That service animal has to be under strict control.
Are you frustrated by people who bend the rules?
Oh, I'm very frustrated because they're not just bending the rules, they're breaking the law.
So Justina is not done with her fight. Even though the hospital admits it made a mistake, she tells me the Oregon Attorney General is filing a discrimination complaint against Legacy on her behalf.
Well, and this is interesting too. I just asked you, I thought dogs were the only animals under that Disabilities Act, but there's more.
No, a number of years ago, not that long ago, the miniature horses were added to the law. So you can have a miniature horse. And you'd say, why would somebody want a miniature horse? Well, they live a lot longer than dogs, so you get a lot more bang for your investment. And then also they're a lot more sturdy. So if you have problems with your balance, a miniature horse.
And quite a bit longer. How long can they live?
30 years?
Yeah, versus a dog, which is sometimes only 10
right.
11 years. Interesting story, Dan. Thanks.